Alright, I think we're gonna give the welding truck a little attention. And the welder, actually. Last night I pulled the slip tank off here. It's been on for like 2 years straight. And things are dirty. We're only 150 hours on the oil change on this, but maybe we'll do it. The key switch isn't working. I've been jumping the starter. It needs a general cleanup. Probably oil change on the engine. Oh, it needs a cleanup. It's packed full of stuff. So probably do a quick clean, take it down, wash it, and then do some work on it. Well, there's step one complete. I haven't seen the steel here in a couple of years. Nice to see it clean. Still a regular cab. You can only put stuff so many places, but at least someone can sit there now. A little cleaner now. That'll do. So now that we got her in the shop clean, we gotta think of what all we're gonna do to it. I want to do some maintenance and oil change and stuff, but I got some more special things. I got something I want to put back here, and I should cut up a little air compressor, and I was thinking about mounting it across the top there, just an electric one, plug it in, and have real air on this thing. I just fill this up from the shop and holds enough usually. You can blow a rat out and whatnot. Oh, maybe a hitch on the back, pull an auger around or something. This thing pulls really good. It has 456 gears in it and weighs so much. That little 318 she yanks on her. Oh, maintenance. Where is that? That guy is loose. We need to tighten that up. Oh, and both motor mounts have ripped apart. So when you take off, you hear a real boom like it. It needs a little maintenance. I do have an abundance of 4-barrel 318 intakes and a little 500 Edelbrock laying around. Maybe she'll get the treat there. Actually, I'm pretty excited for what I'm going to put on the back of here. I better show you. A little crane. My grandpa had it laying out back. He said, "Yeah, you better just take this. I'll throw it away." I said, "Yeah, don't throw it away." So I just looked it up. Like a brand new one is $4,500 or so. So probably won't use it that often, but taking the slip tank on and off, and being able to pull this welder off really easy if I needed to. There'll be jobs for it. Well, time to mount this crane on the welding truck. So I did bring up like a 3/8 piece of steel I was going to put on here bigger and then mount the crane to that and weld it to the deck. But I drilled a hole just to see. There's a lot to this deck, so I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to put that corner right there, so it'll end up to here, to there. And this tube goes inside for even more support, because I guess you can slide vices in and different tools. I usually stick a grease gun in there, but gonna lose that. And I thought about just welding it right to the deck, but I think if I had a mag drill, maybe I drill it. Maybe I should just weld it on. I got a gouger. I can always take it off. It takes 5/8 mounting holes, so I'm not exactly set up perfect for that. Unless, we'd have to lift the truck up a little bit. Doable. We'd be drilling on an angle though. Yeah, this whole deck is a 1/2 inch thick. No wonder this thing weighs so much. And the wires come through the middle, a little hole, but let's get this lifted up there, see what it looks like. This is not going smooth at all alone. Ugh. I can get it close, but it wants to tip back and I can't hold it, so I'll weld a nut there. I can put this on and get it, on this side, on there and tighten it down just to hold the damn thing. Well, there we go. I put 3 little tacks on it just so it won't fall on me, but I just remembered Buddy has a mag drill, so maybe I will drill and bolt it down. I know everyone get all upset if I weld on a crane, but you think Suncor won't let me on site with my welded crane? Who gives a shit? I'm already thinking all the times this would have been so handy. I don't have a remote for it though. I'll have to get one of those. Possibly make one. It's just a 3-way switch and a trailer plug, but see how much they want. And I'll have to put an outrigger on it. Just probably a trailer jack right there. It ain't gonna need a lot. Oh, nice to use the 3/4 impact. I haven't used it since that air compressor went down. 4 5/8 bolts, washers, nuts, $22. Someone in another video saying, I overpaid for that bolt bin. I said, you're in the States. Like, I wish we had the prices you had. Even with conversion, like exchange rate, still be ahead. But that's going to be pretty cool. That's its farthest reach right there. It can go up higher, but. So one thing that's really pissed me off about doing all this shop cleaning and all this stuff, this crane I just mounted, it doesn't have the controller for it. Not a huge deal. About 2 days ago, I threw one out for a winch, but the same basic idea is in and out. So even if you had to change the plug, figure out the wiring, it's everything you need. It's in here somewhere though. I think I'm gonna have to commit and get in there. Oh, I lucked out. I never had to get right in there. Down in this corner. All right. Thank God I found that. Hopefully. It looks like it's running off of just 3 pins. And that guy up there, actually we can show you. This one uses like a trailer plug. It has 5 or 6 pins in here, but that doesn't mean it uses them all. I should open this up. But if we can find a diagram, maybe we'll do some internet stuff. And if I can figure out how to wire that up, that would be pretty slick. Well, there's been a change of plans. A good change of plans, but gotta spin this truck around in here. I'm not set up for this. I made that a little wide, but any guesses? I don't know how much I can show before TikTok gets mad, but you get the idea. Well, it should be pretty simple. There's 2 wires coming in to the plug, and then the 2 wires going to the motor. So I don't know if that will work with this controller being 3 wires. I guess I could rip it apart and make sure it is. Also looks like all the current goes through the switch, and I'm thinking my switch is built more for a relay setup. So this is just a controller for a cheap Chinese winch. We'll cut that in, I'll find out. Yeah, I don't think those little guys are going to cut it. It's more of a relay setup. Okay, we can build something. This kind of electrical is so simple for some people, but I wouldn't say struggle, but I think more than I have to do it like the best way. Some guys are like, oh yeah, just this part of that, nothing. And it is simple. Maybe I overthink it, maybe that's the problem. Good thing I went diving through the dumpster for that. There we go. I'll just order one of these. That's all I need. I can extend the wires, put a plug on them. But when I order off Amazon, it's like 2 weeks, 10 days for me to get anything. But buddies on either side of me can do next day or something. So maybe I'll just throw Blade $40 and tell them to order one of these. Looks like heavy enough gauge. Of course, they don't tell you which gauge the wire it is, but whatever. Just talking about this old welding deck, 1/2-inch plate. I wanted the same thing too, actually. But I drilled a hole here. We know that's 1/2 inch. Here's the difference. Somewhere here. You'd think you'd see where it's welded together better, but somewhere here, you can see that where that old welder was mounted. Yeah, it thins up here. Also had someone saying that he knows that I won't like the crane here, so he'd mount it up at the front. Boy, for knowing a lot, he doesn't know much about this deck. I really should hook those up. There's one on each side. Handle, you stick through the hole to wind them up. So yeah, can't mount the crane up there. I'll really like it here. You get the most amount of useful swing. If it's up there, I only have this working area right here. But more to do with that crane. I went and bought a bunch of stuff in the city today for this truck. Spending too much money. Got my outrigger. I picked up a hitch for it because it would be nice to pull some stuff. Motor mounts, backup lights, oil stuff. I got intake manifold gaskets coming. I think I'm going to put that 4-barrel on here. I just haven't decided which one. I have to run wire back to that crane. 8-gauge, 16-foot jumper cables, $12. It's cheaper than the wire. So I'm just going to cut the ends off and run that down the length of the truck. You know how hard it was to find the old school 6-prong trailer plug? Because that's what she uses up there for the winch. I wanted a nice simple plug in here. Because technically this isn't supposed to spin around and around because your wires will get all twisted up. So I thought if I put a simple plug like this there, if they ever do, you can just unplug it and untwirl it and plug it back in. That's about it for the crane stuff. I picked up my copper tube for the air compressor. I always thought the round light and a square hole looked kind of dumb. So I think that'll look nice. I hope we can get them tilted out a little bit. Kind of takes away from the square and square, but make it a little nicer to work around. Mainly being all LED, I can leave them on with the truck not running, not worry about it so much. Oh, one more thing. Scatterbrained as hell here. If I can find it. Yeah. Okay, master disconnect. If I'm running that bigger cable back from the front of the truck somewhere down here to hook the crane up to, if I hook a master switch, I'll tie the welder into it. So then I can always, just with the flip of this, since the welder's already grounded to the truck, I can jump the welder from the truck or vice versa. Because that battery was weak when we got this welder 10 years ago. I don't know how it's hung in so long, but it is nice to be able to go back and forth with just the turn of a knob. Maybe I'll mount it like in there. Not something that get used that often, but will be nice.